The thoroughbred is a magnificent animal, bred for speed, bred to compete, the sport of kings.
Tama is drawing away, and Tama with Mike Smith, they win the Bet Parks Pennsylvania Derby.
It's the all-new Let's Go Racing from Parks Casino and Racetrack. It's action-packed and fun for the entire family.
Il Miracolo now in command.
Let's Go Racing is proudly brought to you by the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. It's fun to see them run.
Hello and welcome to Let's Go Racing, action-packed show coming your way. And it's that time of year, it's time for Pennsylvania Breds to square off as we hosted the unique Bella Stakes and the Page McKenney Handicap. We spoke with the winning connections. Kentucky Derby now 1 week away. Hear how some of the connections feel about their contenders. And local connections with big chances at Laurel Park in Maryland and so much more on Let's Go Racing. And hello everybody, Chris Griffin joined by the one and only Hall of Famer Dick Jerardi here on Let's Go Racing. And Dick, it is that time of year for the Pennsylvania Breds and we get that stakes racing action.
Yeah, it's always fun, Chris. It's late April. We're going to get these two stakes races, and boy, some really star-studded horses came out for these two events.
Yeah, when you wait for those stakes races, they really show up, and we had some big full fields in there. And the first one is going to be the unique Bella Stakes. It was the 9th race on Monday, and taking a look at a 7-furlong race like this, how did you kind of take a look at it?
Yeah, look, Morning Matcha on paper, Chris just laid over the field. She won the race last year. She's been in against some of the best in the division. I'm not just talking about Pennsylvania breds around the country, including Idiomatic in the Delaware Handicap last year. 3-5 for a reason, and the race set up a lot of speed in front of her.
We'll see if that class advantage does hold. Here is the unique Bella Stakes. Jessica Paquette on the call.
Aoife's Magic up to put her nose in front. Knickers in a twist. She's now relaxed. She's in third, followed by Dewey, Do It fourth to the outside. New Higher fifth. Then it's back to Morning Matcha. She's beginning to roll to her inside. Dr. Abby, followed by Warrior's Ransom and Nemora's at the back. Aoife's Magic has a 1-length lead as they make their way into the far turn. She's trying to open up now. She says, "Come and catch me." The half, 46-2. Aoife's Magic has the lead. Morning Matcha continuing her rally. She's making up some ground as they make their way through the turn. A quarter mile left to go. Aoife's Magic with that big blaze. She's in command. Morning Matcha looms to her outside. They hit the top of the stretch. Aoife's Magic continuing up the rail. Dr. Abby in with a chance on the outside. Morning Matcha up to confront Aoife's Magic on the inside. Dr. Abby 3 across the track. Dr. Abby has some momentum. Morning Matcha, she sticks her nose in front. Morning Matcha, she's making a big comeback effort to take the unique Bella Stakes.
And the class advantage will hold as Morning Matcha gets the job done. Butch Reed, he knows where the winner's circle is here at Parks, and Michael Sanchez aboard. And taking a look at that effort, Morning Matcha, she did what she had to do, but some pretty promising efforts maybe out of that race.
You know, I was really impressed with how Aoife's Magic ran. Look, Chris, 3-year-olds in April against older, and she was with the pace the whole time. The other pace horses all backed out. The other 3-year-olds all backed out. I thought she ran maybe her best race. She was beaten 5 1/4 lengths by a horse who's about to be a millionaire. But yes, all due to Morning Matcha. She's terrific. She's going to have another great year. Her next win's probably going to put her over $1 million.
And you had a chance to talk to those winning connections. Let's hear from Butch Reed and Michael Sanchez about Morning Matcha.
Butch, just out of the box, she does it again. Same race she won last year. How cool is Morning Matcha?
No, she's the best. You know, for a horse we didn't pay a whole lot of money for. She's ultra consistent, gives it her best against the best in the country last year. She tried everybody and come back 7/8 is just a perfect comeback for her.
When you're watching the race unfold and that really cool 3-year-old Smarty Jones filly's out there winging, what were you thinking?
No, I got a little concern there coming by the 3/8 pole, but I know the filly and I know Michael knows her really well, so very confident in horse and rider, so worked out great.
Michael, they were going fairly fast up front. Did you anticipate it would be a hot pace, and here she comes?
Yeah, we do believe so, and especially that the speed, it was younger horses, so, you know, once they get a little do, they seem to go a little fast. We got a good pose. I didn't want to drop into, you know, sometimes when you got the best horse, you got to ride like the best horse. Don't just stay out of the way, don't get in trouble. I stood a little wide, but we knew she had the ability to go by, and so.
And then it was the boys' turn in the Page McKenney Handicap. And when you have a handicap, we're talking about some weight that's going to factor in. And Uncle Ernie ended up going off favorite.
Yeah, he was also the high weight at 128. A certain trainer named John Service was not thrilled about that, but that's what it was. Uncle Ernie came off a huge race. Chris, 9-5, but there's a lot of other early speed in the race. Is he going to be able to get away from the speed, or somebody could come get him?
Let's find out what happened in the Page McKenney Handicap. Jessica Paquette, one more time on the call.
It's a battle on the front end. Twisted Ride, a narrow advantage on the outside. Liar, Side Chat, Mo Visitor, those two forwardly placed. On the rail, Uncle Ernie, he's just about a half length off, leading Twisted Ride the opening quarter, 22-4. Twisted Ride and Mo Visitor. Uncle Ernie in third. Liar, Side Chat, he's losing some ground. Barron's weaving his way in between horses along with Eagle's Cry. Then on the outside, moving up a bit, there's 90% Maddie. Young Squire to his outside. Meet Me at Mondays, beginning to move from off the pace, Far Mo Power. Then it's back to Vison, 46-2 for the half. The battle rages on the front end. Twisted Ride and Mo Visitor, those two are exchanging blows as they go through the far turn. A quarter mile left to go on the inside. Twisted Ride on the outside. Mo Visitor, 90% Maddie looms as they make their way around the turn. 90% Maddie has some momentum. Uncle Ernie looking for room, coming up the rail. 90% Maddie up to confront Twisted Ride. Meet Me at Mondays making a big rally. Far Mo Power charging down the center of the track. It is 90% Maddie, a tenuous lead. Here comes Far Mo Power flying late from off the pace. Far Mo Power, big run to get the win in the Page McKenney Handicap.
And look at that, Far Mo Power back in a big way off the layoff and passing all rivals.
Yeah, he came, as you said, Chris, from dead last, and you're thinking, I don't know about this. He might be a little too far back, but boy, did Lou Linder have him ready. And Dexter Haddock has ridden him in every start of his career. And it's interesting, he's a good horse at almost any distance, but at 7 furlongs, he's only lost one time, and that was at the Page McKenney a couple of years ago. Well, he got it back. Look for him to have a big year. Far Mo Power, really cool horse.
Let's hear from trainer Lou Linder Jr. about that effort from Far Mo Power.
Lou, this has been such a cool horse. To see him come back and give you this kind of effort and win this race, what does it mean?
It means a lot because we're trying so hard to get him ready for the dirt mile last year, and he just wasn't coming around, so we decided to pull the plug, do right by the horse, and it paid off.
7/8, he's only lost one time. What is it about this distance that fits him absolutely perfect?
Whether he's on the engine or coming from dead last, he just finds a way to get there. You know, it was a little harrowing going down the backside, but I seen him lengthen stride. I figured we got a shot.
And when he starts lengthening stride and stretch, and there's some good horses in front of him, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking, just don't get stopped. If you don't get stopped, we got a shot to get there, and we got there.
And thank you to you and Lou Linder Jr. Far Mo Power. Kind of seems like a horse that's still learning the game, actually, a little bit.
Yeah, it's interesting, Chris. I mean, he's this old, right? 6, and he's only had 17 lifetime starts. And Lewis says, he said he was really trying to get him back last year for that Park Start Mile. Couldn't do it, but waited. Patience paid off, and I was able to write about both races, the Unique Bella and the Page McKenney on Let'sGoRacingParks.com this week. Little backstories on both of these really cool horses that just do nothing but win.
There you go. Always love that. Make sure you check it out. We're going to have more from Parks a little bit later in the show. We've got some Parks trainers headed to Laurel. But when we come back here on Let's Go Racing, we're going to talk Kentucky Derby. It's just 1 week away. Let's talk Derby when we come back.
He's a very alpha horse. Like he's definitely in charge of what's going on everywhere, and we give him his space and we let him be him.
The question a lot of people are asking themselves these days is, do I buy new or do I buy pre-owned? Here's what I'll tell you. New car inventories are still low and new car prices are still high. However, with the certified pre-owned Nissan at Chapman Nissan, we have a huge selection and you can save thousands over new. Plus a 7-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, roadside assistance, 1-year prepaid maintenance, and so much more. And not for nothing. Can you really tell the difference? I can't.
This is Parks.
This is how you roll, this is how it goes. This is how you pop, this is how you rock. Take a chance, do a dance, little romance. This is how you. This is how you win. This is how you excite, this is how you all night. 360 hit me, now we're going all in. I can feel it calling, the crowd, the light, the night, the sights, the vibe is right. This is how you. This is
Parks, Pennsylvania's #1 casino experience. This is how you win.
And welcome back to Let's Go Racing here on NBC Sports Philadelphia. Chris Griffin, joined once again by the Hall of Famer. I'm going to keep doing that. Hall of Famer Dick Jerardi. And we've got plenty of racing action here at Parks, but we got the Kentucky Derby just 1 week away. 20 in the field for the Derby. You got the Oaks field as well, and it's a big race, and it's always that lead up that's so exciting to all the viewers.
Yeah, it's a little different this year, Chris. Tonight now, 7:15, they're going to have the draw for the Derby and the Oaks at Churchill Downs. First time they've ever done this a week out. You'll be able to see it on TVG or the Churchill simulcast feed tonight between races 3 and 4 on opening night at Churchill Downs. The Derby post-draw. Post-draws most of the time don't really matter. Okay. Well, they always matter in the Derby with these 20-horse fields.
And let's hear from some of the connections that are pointing to the Kentucky Derby and the Kentucky Oaks. We've got a chance to catch up with them down in Kentucky.
The horse works super, so as you see, he's not even blowing. The horse is really fit and ready. Just trying to maintain where we're at with the horse. I was really pleased. This is just what I wanted. He's a nice horse to work around, but he's a very alpha horse. Like he's definitely in charge of what's going on everywhere, and we give him his space and we let him be him. And there's mutual respect there. He'll cooperate, that way. So he's a very rare horse to have in your shed row if you're a trainer.
What would be your preference for a post position in the gate, considering?
Great question. I don't really anticipate the gate being an issue. I'd be more interested with the post position of where he's going to be strategically in that first turn more than the loading process. Maybe I'll regret those words, but I feel somewhere in the middle of the field always seems maybe to be the safest. But there's no telling. You've seen horses win from the far outside, and some that draw inside have run well and won. So we'll take what they give us, but somewhere in the middle would be ideal.
He's always had a lot of talent and stuff. Great attitude, good mover. Wonderful horse to be around, and you have to continue to develop and get faster. I think that he will handle the circumstances of the Derby and the crowd and all the pageantry of it extremely well and show his best side.
We've still got a pretty fresh horse, and he wasn't overtaxed in the preps, and I think it sets him up really well for the Kentucky Derby. I think timing wise, horse is doing super, and right now we've got I think pretty well dead aim at it. He's real agile. This is a horse that's got a lot of turn of foot, turns it over quick. He won going 5.5 here at Churchill, so he's won over this track. But we've had to kind of retool him to go longer. But the Sireline's Harlan's Holiday, which is a horse I ran in the Derby in 2002.
Was a favorite.
Yeah.
At like 6-1.
And I think this is a faster horse than Harlan's Holiday.
You've been so close in both the Derby and the Oaks. Torpedo Anna, who you were telling me was named after an Australian swimmer.
It's a great filly. I tell you this, I've said it for the last month that they better bring a bear because I'm bringing a grizzly. I mean, she's serious. I wouldn't be scared to run her against colts.
And there's trainer Kenny McPeak and all those connections, but talk about Kenny McPeak first and Torpedo Anna, and talking about her and going into the Oaks, very confident going in.
Extremely. Kenny usually doesn't talk like that. That's not his style, so it's worthwhile to listen when he says something like that. And I did watch her work, Chris. It was sensational. I understand why he's so excited. We shall see. And the Derby is such a cool thing, but the Oaks gets a mere 125,000, and of course this is Derby 150. Derby 100 had a field of 23, and then that's when they limited it to 20. So mere 20 this time.
Well, how about that? And then you take a look at the Kentucky Derby field with Sierra Leone being a stone closer.
Yep.
And then you've got Fierceness being a front end horse. You have the two favorites, two completely different running styles.
Exactly. Totally different styles, as you said, Chris. And the trainers are the two biggest guys in New York, right? Todd Pletcher and Chad Brown, guys who they've won all the big races. Todd's won the Derby a couple of times. Chad's been close, really close, and he said this is the best one he's ever brought, so pay attention. Okay. Fierceness and Sierra Leone, and if Fierceness goes to the lead, I don't think they're going to beat him, but that first 100, 200 yards is going to be critical for Fierceness.
Sierra Leone, from the booth, I maybe have a little bit of a rooting interest there, but we'll see what ends up happening there in the Kentucky Derby to be run next Saturday, that draw later tonight. Now we're going to switch gears and we're going to go over to Laurel Park, right? That's the best segue in business. We're going to go out to Laurel Park. It was a busy weekend, and Parks Connections, they made their presence felt.
They did. It was the King T. Leatherberry, won 5.5 on the turf, first turf race of the year down at Laurel Park. And Whitty, the good PA Bred, is in it. Bump and Run for Tim Shaw is in there, and Four Harp is making his seasonal debut for Butchery.
All right, let's see what ended up happening there in the Leatherberry Stakes, right there in Laurel Park. The Rodman, Dave Rodman on the call.
And Future is now, gets ahead in front. And Future is now tries to go on fluid situations, come off the inside now. Brother Conway's down to the inside, extreme outside Four Harp. Make Four almost across the track as they turn in. Charging continues to battle well in between horses. Outlaw Kid is next. Whitty's rolling on the far outside. Whitty to the center of the track, closing with a big kick now. Here comes Whitty, but on the inside, Charging, resting in our lead. Whitty out in the middle of the track now, continues to charge inside. Outlaw Kid, Whitty, Outlaw Kid out of the inside, collaring, Charging, 3 across the track to the second wire finish. Whitty.
Another talented PA bred there. Whitty gets the win, and Whitty, sometimes runs very strong, sometimes, needs to find the right company, but got the job done there.
Yeah, owned, trained, bred, Liz Merriman, Pennsylvania bred, terrific horse. I thought Bump and Run for Tim Shaw ran better than it looks. Ended up running fourth. Watch him next time. I think he's dangerous. 4-harp, just his first start. And I love the fact that it's named after my man King T. Leatherberry. And everybody here at Parks knows King T from Ben's Cat. 26 stakes wins for Ben's Cat. Wow. Seriously? King, number 5 all time at 65.05.
Yeah, Butch Reed had 4-harp in there. Butch Reed also had Jeannie Marie in the Weber City Mistakes, and we'll see what ended up happening there with Jeannie Marie.
Miss Harriet, Grammy Girl, and Jeannie Marie. That's the top 3. Would call another play. And Shimmering Allure is ridden along. She's got to really pick it up. 47-3 was the half mile into the far turn. And it's Miss Harriet, just a narrow lead. Grammy Girl sticking with her on the outside. Jeannie Marie, call another play. Firing up with a 3-wide bid. Another 6 lengths back, and Shimmering Allure scrubbed on for run, but she's just at an even pace with 2.5 furlongs left to go. Still 9 off that lead. Top of the stretch now. Call another play. Call another play. Comes around up on the outside. Miss Harriet out of the inside. In the meantime, Jean Marie's just off the fence now, driven from third. So 3 chances at the 3/16 pole. Call another play. Miss Harriet in a stiff drive together. Jean Marie is third and trying to reach. A furlong left to go. It's Call Another Play in front. Jean Marie moves to second as Miss Harriet is in third. Call Another Play coming for the Laurel line with a 2.5 length lead from Jean Marie. Call Another Play in the Weber City Miss.
Shimmering Allure, the big 3-5 favorite from Kenny Big Pete, never really fired in there, Chris, just not at all. Jean Marie ran terrific to be second to 3-horse, but Call Another Play at 5-1 gets it done for my man Michael Trumback.
More racing action still there at Laurel Park. It was the Federico Tessio Stakes, and it's Derby time. You got these preps and these smaller preps as well, but Speedy Ness, Jamie Ness, taking a shot.
Yeah, has the one post, has the only early speed in the race, Chris, and was bet down to the 5-2 favorite. And wouldn't it be fun to see Speedy Ness in the Preakness?
Let's see how he does in the Tessio first. Federico Tessio, Dave Rodman, one more time.
So the pace picks up front for Speediness with Inveigled moving to second now. Here's Copper Tax on the outside, a classic joke. Copper Tax pushing into third position while 3 wide. Lat Long is next. Next in between horses is Circle P, who still has plenty to do. Celtic Contender and Corolo Rapido on the outside. Top of the stretch, and it's Speediness. Speediness has run. Speediness kicks away from them. Copper Tax and Inveigled and Lat Long to the center of the track. They are followed by Corolo Rapido. Speediness now put to a drive with a furlong left to go. Copper Tax is reaching. Here comes Copper Tax. Copper Tax on the outside under a full head of steam. Copper Tax keeps on rolling. Speediness trying to hold. Speediness, Copper Tax to get up in the Federico Tessio Stakes.
And you see Copper Tax in the shadow of the wire, as they might say, trained by Gary Capuano, gets the job done. And Speediness, good second.
I thought he ran great, Chris. I thought the whole time he was the winner, and I saw Jamie out here Monday, and he said, man, I just thought I was home free. And he really looked like he was home free. Just got a little tired at the end. Copper Tax is a pretty cool horse. He caught him last time. He caught him again. It sounded like Gary Capuano. He gets a free spot into the Preakness. He didn't sound all that enthused about it, even though he gets a free run. And Jamie says, look, I'll just stay with my own kind. I know where I belong. That's why Jamie wins all those races. He knows where to spot his horses.
Yeah, there we go. That's the second leg of the Triple Crown. We're worried about the first leg of the Triple Crown still, so that's what the connection are taking a look at. We got another break, and we're going to come back and talk jockeys and trainers of the week as we come right back here to Parks. We got Best of the Rest coming up as well. We've got a can't-miss interview with the PTHA Trophy race. It's all on the other side of the break on Let's Go Racing.
Open the Bet Parks app, you're in the zone. Winning is always a rush, but the money is in the moments. It's the anticipation of another face card, the thrill of an extra spin, and the pure joy of a jackpot. It's all your favorite games at your fingertips. Plus, get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. You play for fun, you love to win. You bet. Bet Parks.
And welcome back to Let's Go Racing here on NBC Sports Philadelphia. It's Turning for Home time. Turning for Home family photo of the week. It's Without a View. And you take a look at this horse, formerly trained by Lou Linder Jr. Now this horse is in training at the Optimum Equestrian in Sparta, New Jersey. So on to a new career.
It's one of my favorite parts of the show every week, the Turning for Home horse of the week.
And we also have the Jockey of the Week, brought to you by Turning for Home, Michael Sanchez. He puts together another multiple win day.
He's having a phenomenal year. He won the jockey's title last year, Chris. He's on his way again. He wants to get to 300 wins this year, and if he does, he's going to be in the top 2 or 3 in the country, along with those Ortiz brothers.
We talked about Farmo Power. We talked about Without a View there in the family photo. We'll talk about Trainer of the Week, Lou Linder Jr., showing that exhilaration, showing that excitement, got the job done.
Yeah, how could he not be the Trainer of the Week? And they finally gave him his money from the Parks Dirt Mile after all that craziness. So good for Lou. He's on a roll.
Great for all the local connections. Let's head out one more time. It's Best of the Rest time, and we're going to head on to a place we haven't been yet today, this afternoon. But we're going to go over to Laurel Park. It's the Oaklawn Handicap.
Yeah, and check out the 10 here, Chris. Skippy Longstocking. He's a PA Derby grad from a couple of years ago, and he's been knocking on the door of some big wins. This was a big win. He runs away from the field, a career-high buyer figure of 107. Skippy is a player in the handicap division here in 2024.
Yeah, we'll see what happens in that very interesting older male division in the handicap division. PTHA Trophy races, we come right back here to Bensalem, and we had a little bit lower than the Oaklawn Handicap, but a maiden $10,000 race in there, 2 turns, but a big class dropper in there in Shadow Man.
Yeah, Shadow Man, big class drop, even money. Looked like maybe it could be the speed with the blinkers off this time. New gelding, yeah, right to the front, Chris. They're not going to catch Shadow Man. And did you catch up with some folks after?
I did. You saw Paco Lopez just open up in the lane there, but we caught up with former rider, now trainer for Colts Neck Stables. That's Jorge Duarte Jr. with a very special guest, and Steve Santulli. You cannot miss Steve Santulli when he's out there trackside. But Jorge Duarte Jr. is somebody that knows Parks, knows this region, and it gets into the time of the season where your barn starts to pick things up, but you caught the win there as well.
Yeah, beautiful day out here. The barn's starting to warm up. Beginning of the year. We're glad we got the job done. Steven's here. Everybody's happy, and good day.
He's got the hat too. I know we're ignoring the flowing locks in here, but the hat is really kind of growing. You're going to have a bunch of those this summer too, right?
Oh yes, of course we are. We'll be handing them out.
What's it feel like just to get back in the winner's circle and just to get the barn really rolling now?
It really feels good, having a good record so far and just getting back out there and having a good time.
Great hanging out with those connections, Shadow Man, and he's got a new home. He's going to be staying right here at Parks, I believe, for the new connections. And let's take a look at Ion Racing. And Ion Racing really ends up being Ion Louisville, right?
Yeah, exactly, Chris. Yeah. There's a couple minor stakes races around the country, but look, we're interested in one thing, the Derby draw tonight, the Oaks draw tonight. It's really cool that these fields for both days are going to be out a week early. I love it as a guy who will be playing a contest on Derby Day and possibly even betting on the Derby itself. I can't imagine, but maybe.
This is one of those weekends coming up next weekend where it's not only the big races, it's the undercard as well. You got nothing but good stakes racing action.
Look, the 5 best cards of the year nationally at the Breeders' Cup Friday and Saturday, Belmont Stakes Day, Kentucky Derby Day, and of course, Pennsylvania Derby Day here at Parks.
Absolutely. All that great stuff coming here at Parks. We're going to take another break, and I'm going to remind you that we're going to be having live racing here for the first time on Saturday as well. We're going to talk about that more on the other side of the break, but we're going to be running and watching the Derby here next Saturday. Coming right back on Let's Go Racing.
This is Parks.
This is how you roll. This is how it goes. This is how you pop. This is how you rock. Take a chance, do a dance, little romance. This is how you. This is how you win. This is how you excite. This is how you all night. 360 hit me. Now we're going all in. I can feel it calling. The crowd, the light, the night, the sights, the vibe is right. This is how you. This is
Parks, Pennsylvania's #1 casino experience. This is how you win.
Welcome back to Let's Go Racing. Let's jump right into it. We got to make some money. Parks Picks time, Monday's 9th race you're taking a look at.
Yeah, this is an allowance race, Chris, for PA Breds. Great Lightning came off a long layoff for Tyler Service and was awesome, winning by 14 lengths, got a 94 buyer. If she comes close to that again, this race will not be close. And Tyler Service is on quite a roll to start his 2024. He's at 32% here at Parks. So Great Lightning, not much of a price, but man, she might be a star.
Yeah, that's one of those performances you just remember. You kind of keep it as a replay in your mind. And we're going to find out what Craig Donnelly thinks. He loves watching replays, and his Monday picks, fantastic.
On a roll.
But his on-air pick, I think, scratched. So he was more frustrated about that. Let's see if he can get the winner here today. Craig, who do you like coming up next week?
Last week, my selection on Monday was scratched. However, I did have 7 races on the card. Chris Griffin described it as a very good day. He thinks 3 winners is a very good day, but I had 7, so I feel good about that. Our selection for Monday is going to be in the 9th race, Gray Lightning. This horse is gray and runs like lightning. Her last race was one of the most impressive races I've seen in the last couple of years here. She just dominated all the way around, in hand, tremendous effort. She's meeting older horses for the first time, and a couple of them are very good. So the question might be, why pick a race where there's great competition? Because she may be in another level than the rest of these horses. Tyler Service is doing great. I look for a Gray Lightning, possibly at a short price, because Chris said he's going to bet $10,000 on her. Short price, but I think she'll get the job done.
Well, the good news is the Hall of Famers like Gray Lightning.
Yes.
The bad news is that horse is now going to be 1-9, I think, on Monday. But that's how it happens. You got to pick the winner. It was impressive.
Look, it was as impressive a race as we've seen here in 2024.
I think the field is going to be wide open for, guess what, the golf outing. That's right. I'm not going to be able to be golfing, but you guys are going to be golfing. The PTHA turning for home, teaming up with that golf outing on Thursday.
On Thursday at Ben Salem Country Club. You'll be otherwise occupied calling some races up in New York. But yeah, it should be great fun for everybody. Benefits turning for home.
Always for a great cause, and nobody's going to be 1-9 to win that golf outing.
That will be 90-1.
And then we go over to Saturday as well. Of course, we talked about it. It's Kentucky Derby. You can watch it. You can wager on it right here at Parks, but also lots of family fun.
Yeah, and live racing first Saturday of the year, like the Preakness and Belmont, PA Derby. It's Father's Day on Sunday, so yeah, time to come out to Parks next Saturday.
Bring on that good weather in Louisville and right here in Ben Salem.
Please.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, we could definitely like that. And new Hall of Famers that just announced, they'll be inducted this summer at Saratoga Springs. Joe Rosario, the great jockey. How about this, Chris? 407 graded stakes wins? Seriously? 3,575 career wins. The great gun runner, another PA Derby graduate, the 2017 Horse of the Year. This is the one that gives me the biggest hope. Justify, the Triple Crown winner from 2018. Only 6 races, the fewest ever to be elected in the Hall of Fame. Who does that give me hope for? The great Smarty Jones. That's what people have been telling me why he can't get in. He only had 9 races. Well, he was a Triple Crown winner, but they just cheated him out of the Triple Crown. We know what happened. He should have been 9 for 9. Chris, if he wins the Belmont, do you think he would be in the Hall of Fame? Of course he would be.
He'd be in yesterday. I mean, he's one of the most famous horses of all time.
Exactly.
That's the one thing I say.
Get him on the ballot at least, people. We can't even get him on the ballot.
If we left the studio right now and asked 5 random people, they would say Smarty Jones if they were going to name a racehorse.
And you know, they're getting horses on here like Rags to Riches, the filly nobody's ever heard of because somebody likes her on a committee. You know, get Smarty Jones on this ballot.
Smarty Jones. As we close things out here on this Saturday episode, we say goodbye to Donna Service. And it was funny on the program, they said Donna Service goodbye too because she's headed back to Florida for a different opportunity, but she really loves Parks.
She does love Parks. Obviously, the family famous here at Parks, and all the best to Donna down at South Florida.
Danny Gibson coming back right in this spot next week. I am headed over to the other studio.
Yes, you
on
are.
the rail is on the other side of the commercial break. Jessica Paquette. I'll be joining her. We'll be talking about more things Parks. On the rails next. We're out of here. It's Let's Go Racing.
And they're off. Skippy Longstocking has early speed. We the people from in between horses. Taba's got the lead now. It's Taba in the center of the racetrack, but Taba is drawing away. And Taba with Mike Smith, they win the Bet Parks Pennsylvania Derby.